Hello everybody, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to get point cache from Houdini to Unity. And also there is some bug in the tool that makes the position and the rotation not inverted. So the thing is, Houdini and Unity does not have the same orientation. So we're going to address that too, so we get exactly what we expect to get. So this is particles that are made in Houdini. I'm going to show you here, and it's look like this. So this is particles that we gonna export with some information to Unity. So, and yes, let's get started. So first off, we're going to start in an empty scene. Save, yes. And we're going to start a new Houdini. So in Houdini, I have my setup like this, and I'm going to make, well, actually, first off, I'm going to make sure I save my file inside Unity folder. So file, save as, and it's going to be in here. And I'm going to name it like this. Perfect. So now I have it in Unity. And first we're going to make a geometry node. And if you've seen the previous tutorial, we have installed this node here that we need. So let's say we have a sphere and we do scatter. And like this, then we have this to export information. And yeah, but we're gonna do some more interesting than this. So let's see. So in VFX graph, we're not going to use sprites, we're going to use mesh. So first off, I'm going to make a mesh that we're going to work with. It's going to look like this, and we're going to do some poly bevel, not this one, but poly bevel, and just make it a little bit smoother, like this. And this is gonna be a null. And let's see, I'm gonna have this one less. I want this size, so yeah, this looks nice. This is gonna be out box, and I'm gonna have an object merge like this and put it here. So then I have a nice way to move this where I want and have a clean workspace. So this one gonna have a transform to compensate the scale difference in Houdini and Unity. And then we're gonna have a ROP FBX out. And because we have hip, it's gonna be saved next to the other, to this scene. So we're gonna have it as box. And save, and now we have, oh, let's see. We're going to remove these parts. So I have an empty scene. And here we have the box. The box is here, and this is the one we're going to use. So we're going to have shader. It's going to be shader graph and perp. And it's going to be vertex color. Actually, it's just going to be, let's name it box. And we're going to have, because later we're going to have an vector-free color controlled from the VFX graph. So the default color going to be 111 white, and later we're going to control it from the VFX graph, so we have different colors on it. And we also need to do this support VFX graph. This is really important. Save asset. So when this is saved, we go back and we have the box here, and we're gonna take the shader. Well, it actually just turns into white. So this is the one that we're gonna use inside VFX graph later. Cool. So that one is finished, and we have it here. And yeah, okay. So we're gonna use a curve, and we're also not gonna use the first one, but the second one, Bezier. And we're gonna make sure that we draw from the center in the Z direction. So, okay, well, we do like this, remove curve. So if we look from the top here, you can see the Z down here. Where if you look down here, when I hover around, and you can see the Z direction is in this direction here, right? So we're gonna draw here and do a little curve like this. Curve Bezier. And the reason we do this is, and we're also gonna tick this on the grid. So we snap it on the grid and press enter in here. Then we're gonna draw it. I hold and drag, and I hold and drag. And then I'm gonna release this button here, this thing here, and press enter. And now I'm actually gonna lift it up. So I hold the middle mouse button and lift it up. So I have this curve here, right? And I'm gonna resample this curve. So if I press the points here, we can see the resolution. So I want it something like this, and I'm gonna put this one into sweep. So it gives an error because it expects something in the second one, but we're gonna use surface shape, second input, no, but we're gonna use a ribbon, that's a line. And you can see, if we do it a little bit wider, let's say 2 meters, way too much, 1 meter. And resolution. So what's happening here, you see it's it's not flat on the ground. And the end here is also not flat, it's curved. And let's say you want to do a road, and then you want it always to be kind of flat, well, not angled. And the way to solve that is to actually give the information what is up in this world. So then it's always going to be angled horizontal towards the horizon. So we just do a wrangler, and we're going to make a setup for sweep. So we're going to make a vector that's called up, and up is recognized in Houdini. So we're going to make one in up. So now you see it actually solved two stuff. If I turn it off, you see the normals are pointing down. So this is the wrong side. The normals are pointing down. But if we give the information what is up, you see the normals is pointing up and the lines are flat. Perfect. That's how I want it. So when we have this shape, I want to do, actually I want to do undo scatter. So here we have scatter, and I do what? 100 points at the moment, like this, and then I'm gonna do copy to points. And I'm gonna use this one. It would be exactly the same as doing this, but instead you don't need to have wires all over your place. So here they are, and we're gonna make sure that they are rotated the right way. And first off, I'm just gonna do a random attribute randomize. By default, it does color CD, and it makes it random. That's nice. And I'm also gonna make the relax iteration more, make the boxes more even spread. So there are a few stuff here. This is mostly for visualization, right? But we can actually, we just copy this part. We can do this as a ref. And if we save this, and we put this okay, we're gonna do another thing here. We're gonna make it like this. So we're gonna do vertex color. We're gonna multiply the vertex color. Yeah, like this. And save. So what will happen is, if we pick, the default is white here, so this one will never override. If I only make, you see the colors here, right? And we can use this one later, because when we use it as a box here, this one will be white. So whatever color we multiply with white will be the color. So that's why we can use the same material to both the VFX and the static mesh. But you see here, the boxes is not rotated as we want. So we're going to make sure it works first. And the way to do this is, if you see the resample here, we have tangent attributes. So if we do tangent, I'm actually just going to go by tan. So if we look at the tan attribute, and it's visualized as a color, so we can change that in this here by right click and this pen. And here type color, we do it as a marker, and style going to be a vector. And I also want that one to be blue. So this one is a tangent, and this one is saved on the points, and it will go down here. It will also be scattered. So the scattered will kind of copy point attributes. Star is all the attributes. So it will kind of just copy the tan as well. And we still, let's see here, we still don't have it as we want it, but that's okay, because if we do a wrangler here, and if we do, we can name this one to fix rotation. Rotate. Rotation. And also we need to, let's see, we need two things to make sure that the rotation is correct. we need also the normals here. So you see these normals, we want them, but we want them on the points, because now they are green. You see it's 4 lines on each point here. And that's because it's the vertices, and we want the normal to be on points. And as I told you, scatter will transfer the normal and tan attributes with the star here. So on these points now, we also have the now we can see on the points we have 2 vectors, one forward and one up. So the normal is we're going to use it as on the up direction. So because this copy to point node, if we give it the forward direction and the up direction, it's gonna place our mesh in the correct way. So you see now we have the tangent, but and the normal. Well, actually the normal, now it's only doing it with the normal, but we wanna, it's not correct, it happens something. So by doing it correct, if you do like this, the normal is going to be the tan. And now you see, if we transfer the tan vector to the normal vector, the points are following the shape much better. But you still see it's kind of tilted a little bit, a little way. So we want to give the copy to point the up direction, and that's going to be the normal. And now you see it's correct. This looks super nice. It's important to do it this way, because if you, let's say, put it down here, then the normal is the same value as a tangent, and that's not what we want. We want to make sure that the up gets the normal before we change the normal down here. So now we have, if we look here, this is the old one. It's not looking super nice yet. And if we have just save it, we have a really good graph, and this is what we want with the points. So back here, we're going to check this out. I'm actually going to work a little bit more with these points. I'm going to even it out a little bit, relaxation even more. Yeah, this is going to be good. Let's say that's good. So I'm going to save it one more time. So this is the ref. So that's finished, right? Now we want to export this point. So all these points have the information. They have color, they got the normal, the tangent, and up, and the position, right? And we want the position, and we want the color, and we also want the angle. And if we, well, actually, if we just do like this, let me name this point cache, like this, and do export. We see it exported position and color. And in here we have, I'm actually going to move this to the side because this is our ref. So here we have the point cache, and if we open it, we can see color and position. So it's a good start. So if we right click here, create visual effects graph, and we're going to do, let's say, box bridge, let's say that, and put it in here. And if we open the box bridge, it's actually super simple when we came this far. So we want, well, let's do like this, and we can have the scene down here so we see what's going on. So remove this one. Where are we? Okay, so we need a point sample point cache. Sample point cache, and we want the point cache here. Okay, so there's actually another node. If we only do point cache, you see there are two of them. So this one we already placed here. If we do point cache, you see here we have an input. Here we don't have. So this one kind of fixed things for us. So we want to do point count, and we're going to do a burst. So if we do a burst, single burst, and remove constant spawn rate, we want only once to spawn 121 particles, and we want it to live forever. So that therefore we remove lifetime, and we want it to be in place. So we remove set velocity. And we just, in the update, set position. Set the position here. And we do ID, get attribute particle ID. And we put it here. And also down here, we remove set color of life. And remove set size of life. And now you see it's starting to get something. So now we're gonna do this. Output mesh, lit mesh. And this box that we imported, we're going to take this one and we're going to make sure it's read write like this and save it. You need to enable this one to make it work on the GPU. Now we can remove this one, and we can add our box here. No, we can't. We need to add the mesh. So you just open the box and take the mesh and put it in the mesh, right? And also we need a shader. We already made a shader here. And when we made a shader, we enabled the VFX graph. So it's this shader here we need to use. Now you see there is boxes, and we need to set the size. Initialize, we do set size. The size is going to be 1. They are tiny. I think I forgot. Let's see. No, it's correct. So we have very tiny boxes. Oh, it needed to be updated. So we have it here. We have the boxes, and you see the amount is not the same. That's because the capacity is not more than the count, and the count is 121. So let's do 2000 to make sure we have enough. And also we have the color. So the shader, we made a color input in before. So we just plug the color in, and we get the color. And the color gets blue. Why is this? This is interesting. Well, I'm gonna address it a little bit later. Let's see. Okay, I check it out. The box. Vertex color. And the color. So if I only do the color, will it be... No, there's something else. I'm gonna check out here. So there's something going on here. Okay, I think it could be a bug. So I'm gonna do this. And if we save. Okay, so this is a problem that occurs. That now you see the position is flipped. And the reason it's flipped is because in this node, when you use the recommended property names, it's actually flipped the position to compensate for the orientation and stuff. And it's also do that with the color. That's why we had the weird color thing. But if we use recommended property names, if we remove it, it will just transfer everything as raw values. So we gonna make sure that all the values are imported correctly, and we're gonna flip and fix the angle and position to make sure everything matches exactly. And I'm gonna continue doing that in the next tutorial.